Now, Phil Gramm has been at UBS since 2002. 2002. July 1st. The Education of Dr. Phil Gramm. Look that up. Google that. UBS role raises basic questions about McCain's key economic advisor, Phil Gramm. Yeah. He used to teach economics back in the day when he was a Democrat. Anyway, this is kind of person we're dealing with here. The person who's whining about a nation of whiners. Babe, Phil, buddy, baby, go to a gas station, pump your own gas this time, and do the happy dance right by the sign. You know, some of the stations have a low sign on the ground that says the price. I want to see you do the happy dance around that sign. And I want it videotaped and posted on YouTube. I just think it would add so much to the oeuvre of YouTube. Yeah, I said oeuvre. I meant oeuvre. I may not be saying it right, but I meant oeuvre. Anyway. Yeah, the Bush team keeps on rolling. Karl just isn't in the mood to show up. Neither was anyone else on that team to show up for any of their subpoenas. They haven't shown up either. Harriet Miers has never shown up for her subpoena. Never. She's never been. But if you and I tried that, we'd be in the pokey or worse. So, anyway. To all my fellow whiners, you see, it's funny. You won't realize anything's wrong unless you're awake. Now, if you're awake, you can just take a look around you and see stores closing. Walgreens has put a slowdown on their building campaign. Now, the reason I know about this was that I worked for one of the mortgage lenders for this building campaign back in the 90s. So I was there when Walgreens put the push on around 1992, 3, 4 to build Walgreens in almost every city, you know. Look around. Now, if you don't have a Walgreens yet, it may be a while now because sign of the apocalypse. Yes, I have a firefly in here. Sign of the apocalypse. Walgreens slows down the building program. I suppose they're whiners. No? You mean there really is a financial problem? Couldn't be. Because it's a nation of whiners. There's Phil Gramm, nation of whiners. Iran, saber rattling, idiots rattling sabers. While the citizens of both countries are going, for the love of God, please don't. Don't they understand that the minute Iran gets something aimed at them, it doesn't even have to hit the ground before they shoot a missile into either Straits of Hormuz, blocking it? Gas prices, you thought they were high now? Baghdad's green zone, they can reach it. Our ships in the Gulf and the Mediterranean, they can reach them. How many losses do we really want to incur with this thing? I mean, really. Seems that some people want to incur a lot. So yeah, it's been a really stupid week. But we'll carry on. Even those of us who are awake and just waiting for the jackbooted thugs to appear at our door to take us away. Because Blackwater can do that. Anyway, Blackwater? Oh yeah, look them up too. If I accomplish anything by being a chronic malcontent, which I have been for many years, I had a website, The Chronic Malcontent, I have a blog, The Chronic Malcontent, I don't keep up that blog. don't go unless you really want to look at old stuff. Even though the old stuff still pretty much applies. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being a chronic malcontent as long as you're trying to at least start the discussion and maybe find some answers. That's different from a nation of whiners. It's also different from Phil Gramm whining about the country being a nation of whiners. I mean, he put it on the press and the politicians saying things are bad. No, Phil, honey, things are bad. Wait. I know. Perfect. Why don't you underwrite the living expenses for all the pilots, flight attendants, and mechanics that lost their jobs in the last 2 weeks? It's just over 1,000 people. You can do that, Phil, right? You've got the resources and the capability. You could help some people out, and then they won't be whining. Wow. How about that? How about that, Phil? How about those people that lost their jobs in the last 2 weeks? Anyway. That's my rant for tonight. I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning trying to think of a snappy rejoinder for a nation of whiners. I don't have a snappy rejoinder. I just say, you know, stop whining about the whiners. How's that, Phil? Just stop whining about it. Because no one wants to hear a UBS vice president complaining about people who are really hurting. Really hurting. Like in homeless shelters. And people who come to food banks because they have nothing. How about those pilots and flight attendants and mechanics? What about them? Or any of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of more people who have lost their jobs in the last year? Phil, we're not a nation of whiners per se. But when we're pissed, we don't keep quiet either. Alright? You need to make a little mental shift on that because we're pissed. Cheney doesn't care. He says, so? You know, I stopped saying crap like that in 4th grade. I don't know about you. So? This is the level we're dealing with, people. This is the level we're dealing with. So, when he was being interviewed and the reporter said most of the American people don't want to be in Iraq, he said, so? You're a public servant, Cheney. You forgot that, didn't you? Public servant means I pay your salary and you should be doing what I say through my representatives. That's how that's supposed to work. I just want all these guys to get a grip. And that's worldwide. I'm talking to the leader of Iran, our leader, the guys at the G8 that, well, climate, I don't know. Again, they're not in the mood. These people aren't in the mood. Well, I think they're the whiners. Yeah. Well, have a safe weekend and don't answer your door without knowing who's there. Signing out. And no whining.